Hello, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. David here. I'm just gonna make. I'm gonna try to make it quick, but it's not gonna be that quick. I already know that. But I'm gonna do a video here tonight because Israel is now retaliating against Iran, and Iran promised to retaliate against Israel. If they retaliated, it's just going to keep getting worse. And as I was telling y'all in the previous video, it's the father doing it. And so tonight, it's with the way I'm going to let the name of this is going to be Israel attacking Iran. Calm down. I'm not talking about Israel calming down. I'm not talking about Iran calming down. I'm not talking about Gaza calming down, Russia, Lebanon, the Hezbollah, and I guess the Houthis. I'm not telling any of that to calm down. This is what I've been writing books about for years. That's what all these books are leading up to. Every one of these books is leading up to this right here. And this book right here tells you what's going on in the Middle East. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. But to understand it like I do, this is where I was stressing yesterday, you're going to have to read all the books. And that's, so tonight, what I wanted to do is what we're going to do right here before we get going on in this video. This is my website, David of Psalm 89. Now, on this website, you can actually, I want to fire up a page. I want you to see what this looks like when you go to the website, David of Psalm 89. Okay? You click, when you go to David of Psalm home, it stands still when you first go to the site. Give it a minute. It's going to gray out. Then the clouds are going to start moving. All right? Then you can scroll down, let everything load up. Remind you, I'm on mobile data, so this might work quicker if you're in your house or whatever, where you've got the unlimited internet or whatever. I'm on mobile data, so things are a little bit slower for me, and I'm on a limited usage, so forth, whatever. Okay, but scroll down here, and what I wanted to do tonight is I kind of wanted to show you, you can click on this, go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, there, if you want to buy the book. But I encourage any and all, if you do not want to, or I don't want you to feel obligated to have to think you have to buy the book. So you click on these download manuscripts right here, and what happens is you download the manuscript. Right here it is. There you go. You have now got a free ebook. That's on all of the books. They have got it fixed now. The other day I said there was a glitch in it. They got it fixed. All the books are available for free. You do not have to pay for them if you prefer to read them as ebook. And the reason I'm stressing on this is because the Father's been putting it on my heart. He's been telling me, David, it's there. We're there. Okay, that's what's going on with Israel attacking Iran now. Now, I don't think this is going to be, I don't know if this is what, we're going to be talking about that later. But what I'm saying is I don't know if this is when, with everybody that Israel is fighting right now, if this is what Jerusalem being encompassed by armies. I don't know if that's quite there yet. Because, we're going to talk about how they're fighting Gaza. We know they're fighting Hamas in Gaza, the Hezbollah in Lebanon. The Houthis are rebelling against them by attacking the Red Sea. Now they're going to war with Iran. How many people is Israel going to go to war with? So when does this count when we see Jerusalem encompassed by armies? Because Iran said if Israel retaliates for Iran retaliating against Israel, attacking the embassy on sovereign ground, or however you want to call it, Okay, that Iran said if Israel attacks because Iran retaliated for them breaking the law, Iran said they're going to retaliate, and it's going to be 10 times worse than what they did the first time with the 300 plus missiles and so forth, drones and missiles and so forth that they sent in. So this is going to keep escalating. I don't know how far it's going to escalate before Jerusalem is compassed, but it's going to be blowing up the internet. It's going to be blowing up all the news channels. And when this happened later this evening, I mean, I didn't know about it while I was driving because I was listening to the Bible while I'm driving. And I'm not listening to anything else in the world except the Bible when I'm driving. And the Father, obviously, because he's inside me, talking to me all the time. So forth. But that's kind of what we're going to go over tonight. That's why I wanted to call this Calm Down. Now, let's go back here to the original website back here, okay? These books give you an understanding, okay? Notice this, giving it an understanding. And, I'm going to say it right now, whether you all like it now or not. I am the walking Word of God. That's what he had me show everybody in the 6th book. That's when I moved to the level that I'm the walking Word of God. Now, I want to go up down here to Hebrews 4:12. And I want to just go down here. Hebrews, for the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Now, I'm not going to sit here and water this down. And I've told you all this in previous videos, but it's gotten... a lot of my videos y'all haven't watched in the past, but here's what the Father's letting me know. Start making the videos, start teaching them, start glorifying me, start showing them what I've taught you. That's what the Father's telling me. Because we're at that time. This is all getting ready to happen. Okay? And so, that's why I wanted to say, the name of this is, Israel attacking Iran. Calm down, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to start panicking in a really harsh way. Now, I've got a confession to make, okay? I'm not going to panic. I'm not even going to get scared about it. I'm actually getting a little bit excited about it. Why? Because the Father's telling me I'm finally getting ready to be able to teach all that he's been teaching me. And there's actually going to be people that's going to want to learn of what he's been teaching me. So I'm getting a little excited because I'll be able to glorify him. That's what I'm getting excited about. No, it's not going to be, it's going to be rough. It's going to be hard. It's going to be devastating on everybody. But that time I get to glorify him is coming aboard. So I am getting a little excited about it. I'm not excited about the devastation that the world is getting ready to face, but I'm anxious to glorify him. I don't know. I went back to that. Okay. So, we went over this last night, Romans 15:4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we, through patience and comfort of the Scriptures, might have hope. Okay? We're going to 2 Timothy. I left these in here for the video I made the other night. 2 Timothy 3:16. All Scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God may be perfect, thoroughly furnished unto all good works. Excuse me, I'm a little bit tired to making this late at night, so I am going to kind of try to rush through this. Had a full day's worth of work and so forth, and driving and whatnot, so I had to get this. But as I was at the last customer, and they had to transload my load off of another trailer. It was supposed to be loaded when I got there, so that extended my day by like 3 hours because they had to take it off one trailer, put it on another trailer, so I had to wait for them to get that done. And that's when I seen Israel was attacking Iran, and I'm like, oh, I think I better make a video, because the Father's been telling me all day, David, you're getting ready to start teaching. Okay, so here we go. This is what I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm not going to put it off. I'm not going to make excuses not to do it. I'm just going to do it, whether I'm tired or not. But I do have a job to do. Job I have to do. You know, I cannot quit my job. We're going to do a video on that here one of these nights when the Son of Man, when I'm revealed. You know, I'll be just as the lightning in the sky from the east, going from the east to the west. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. That's all I do is go back and forth to the east and the west. That's what I do, just like the Bible said. Anyway, getting off topic. Okay. 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 120. For the prophecy came not no time by the will of man, but holy men of God spake as they were moved by the Holy Ghost. They were being told what to write. They did not write what they witnessed. Now, I don't know if I got that Hebrews 9. I got that Hebrews 9 right there, but I don't know if we really want to go over that tonight, because we went over how yes, the scriptures are the heavens and so forth. You know, that's Philippians 3:20, and I'm not going to go into all that tonight. What I'll focus on is, as I've been telling you, it's the Father that's doing this. Okay? He dwells inside of me. He dwells inside of you. He dwells inside of everybody. That's what makes everybody a part of the one Son of God. Okay? And that doesn't matter what race, color, nationalism, size, or shape, what anyone's done, doing, or will do. In some way or another, everybody on this planet, everybody that's ever been on this planet, is all part of the one Son of God. I believe it's in Luke 2 where I think it's Luke 2 or 3 where it breaks down all these people, when it talks about the 14 generations, or it's not 14 generations, but here, you know what? Let's just go down to it here. Excuse me. And yes, we're going to do a video on that too. Yes, I smoke cigarettes, but that's what I was actually originally going to do a video on tonight. I was going to do a video on defiling the temple of God, and because I even tell you all I smoke cigarettes in the books and so forth, and I tell you how the Father had me tell my brother if I put down the cigarettes to try to save my life, I'll lose my life with him. You know, that's a whole different ball game. Smoking cigarettes does not defile the temple of God. But that's another video in itself. So, yeah, I do cough once in a while. Whatever. And I'm not putting them down because what the Father told me. I think I was going here to Luke 2, I think it was. That might be Luke 3. What book is that in? I could have swore. Thought it was Luke. Can't be Luke 4. Can it? Alright, I gotta pause this. I gotta find it. Silly me, Luke 3. Wow. Like I said, I'm a little bit tired tonight. But see here, you go down, let's see here, where does it start? And Jesus began to be about 30 years of age, being as was supposed. And I explained this in the books too, and it was 30 years after I was in the belly of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. But now, starting with verse 24, which was the son of Matat. I don't know how to pronounce half of these words. Which was the son of Levi, which was the son of Malachi, which was the son of Jonah, which was the son of Joseph. Now you just follow this all the way down. It just keeps going down. Which was the son of Enos, which was the son of Seth, which was the son of Adam, which was the Son of God. Everybody is part of the one Son of God. Now, that's the Father breathing life into each and every person on the planet. Okay? So everybody's part of the one Son of God. So what we was going to do tonight is I wanted to go on and show you where the scriptures are actually telling us this. Okay, the very first thing I wanted to show was Exodus 6:3. And I appeared God spake unto Moses, and start with verse 2. And God spake unto Moses and said unto him, I am the Lord. I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty. But by my name Jehovah was I not known to them. Now, I've got eSword, online Bible concordance on my laptop. Anybody can download this eSword. That's the name of it. It's real easy. It's real simple. You have to kind of play around with it, get used to it. But I've already got it over here on Exodus chapter 6, verse 3. Okay, and I've already clicked on Jehovah, H3, Hebrew word, H3068. And I've already clicked on that down here. And what that does is it brings up the definition of that down here. Okay? Definition, self-existence or eternal. That's all the further we need to go. Self-existence. So when you hear the name Jehovah, think of self-existence. Think of yourself, and Jehovah is existing inside of you. Okay. Now, you just close down. Isaiah 40, 21 and verse 21 and 22. Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Have it not been told you from the beginning? Have ye not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as curtains, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. See, God is inside of everyone. He spread us out throughout the entire earth like grasshoppers. He's dwelling inside of us. See, I think it's the next one I got shown here, that he does not dwell in any house. Okay, we're going to go here down here to 2 Samuel, and I just threw this together kind of quick. Like I said, I just got the truck parked and I realized I wanted to make a video on this. Okay, so I'm not showing everything thoroughly. This is what I mean by reading all the books. There's not one single book that will teach you what I'm trying to show you all in this lesson. But in this lesson, I'm not going to show you near as well as the books help you understand what this lesson is saying, if you can understand what I'm trying to say there. All right. 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 6. Whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day, but have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle. Now, okay, this is where I want to talk about, and I'm not going to show the scriptures on this, okay? I wear fringes. There's a video on here about the importance of wearing fringes. I wear my fringes. A lot of people like to use the terminology religiously. I wear them more than that, okay? I have extras built. In fact, I have extras made just in case I lose one, because some days I don't get them fastened tight against my belt hoops or whatever, and I might lose one. And the other day I actually lost two of them. I don't know what happened. I lost one, and I guess I didn't get the other one tight, and I lost two of them. But I have an extra set of them made in my drawer. Now I need to make another extra set just in case I lose them. I keep them there. I've got enough material to make my own fringes for buku forever. But anyway, this is explained in the fourth book. Actually, it's in the third book and in the fourth book, but I changed the names of the chapter a little bit. In the fourth book, it's called Building Your House on the Rock. Well, that rock is the God of the Old Testament. Ye, each person, is their own individual house of God. Okay, I'm not going to show it in the scriptures here, but I'm going to throw my hands out, and you can see the cross that I'm carrying. Well, you're carrying the same cross that I'm carrying. Every one of us is carrying our own cross that is not made with hands. Remember how I said everybody's part of the one Son of God? Okay, we're all carrying that same cross. God is dwelling in each and every one of us. Across all 7 continents. That's the 7 heads of the beast. Okay, well, that dwells on the 7 mountains. Those 7 mountains are the 7 continents. But I'm not going to get into that. That's the way my mind works. I say one word and it'll just take me to a totally different topic of the Bible. That's just because I listen to the Bible so many times, and I continue to listen to it. All right. What I have here next. It's about the tables. Okay, this is where it's going to get to the point where it's going to bother a little people. A lot of people will, when you listen to the New Testament, where it says Jesus goes up into the temple and he turns over the tables, flips over the tables, and that says, "You made the house of God, this house, a den of thieves." All right, check this out. Proverbs 3, verse 3. "Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about the neck. Write them upon the table of your heart." No, stinking Norton. I'm not going to restart my computer right now. I'm busy. Okay. But the table on thy heart. The table that Jesus flips over is on thy heart. The altars are also on thy heart. Well, I showed this first. We'll go do. Yeah, Jeremiah 17. "The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart and upon the horns of their altars." The altars that we make spiritual sacrifices on, are on our hearts also. That the altar is love. A love for all, love for everybody, anyone you see, a love and a compassion to actually put yourself spiritually, and this is the way I explain it in the books, I spiritually put myself in someone else's shoes. Whenever I see someone that's having a hard time and hard way in any way, shape, or form, we're not going to get into that. Okay, but there's a parable on that, how a priest and a Levite actually killed someone just by walking by him, didn't touch them. They was on the other side of the street. Right? But there's a parable about that. Okay, but it's, spiritually putting yourself in their shoes. And that's when you make those spiritual sacrifices. Is whatever I got going on in my life more important than helping this fellow, male or female, regardless of color, race, nationalism? Is whatever I got going on in my life more important than helping them? They are also a fellow servant, vessel, child of God. God breathed life into that person just as well as he did you or me. Plain and simple. Now, let's go back to this, where I had this. Okay, this is Isaiah 56, 7. "Even them will I bring to my holy mountain." Remember, everything about God is spiritual. John 4, verses 23 and 24. "The hour shall come, and now is, that," you know what? Let's just do it here, so I don't misquote it. Y'all don't start downgrading me because of that. We're just going to go to John 4, 23 and 24. "But the hour cometh, and now is, that when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth." Okay? Everything about the Bible, everything about our Father is spiritual. Now, let's get back to where I was. Okay, Isaiah 56, 7. I don't know if I finished reading this or not. If I did finish it, I'm going to do it again. "Even them will I bring unto my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon mine altar. for my house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. It's not a building, it's not a house that's made with hands. We already seen how God has not dwelt in any building since he brought the people up, since he created man. From the beginning, he's never dwelt in a house. But how can his house be called a house of prayer for all people? That's not saying Americans, that's not saying Israelites, that's not saying Chinese, the Russians, whatever country, Mexican or Mexico or whatever. It's not saying, it's for all people. He's inside of each and every one of us. He wants you to seek him. He wants you to understand that. And that's what these books help you understand. Through all these years of schooling that I've had with him, that's where he's gotten me to understand this is him that's creating all this chaos going over on in the Middle East. And because he's all-knowing, he made it sound like this happened already. But now it's getting ready to happen. We're going to be talking about that here in just a couple minutes. Or did I have that toward the end of it? I don't know where I had that. Like I said, I threw this together pretty quick. That's Jeremiah 17. Oh, now I was trying to tell you about how, I don't know if I should have showed you where it says ye are the temple of God, the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. It's in 1 Corinthians, I think. I'm almost positive it's in 1 Corinthians. So I think it's actually worded a little bit different, but it says it's pretty much the same thing in a couple other spots. But anyway, but the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. That is not saying, no, I'm not even going to get into that because that just takes me way off course. Okay. Malachi 4:2. But unto you that fear my name shall the... Now, I want to point this out. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son... See how that S is capitalized right there? Why is a... I guess... I don't even know if that... If it's a proper noun... Yeah, it should be capitalized no matter where it's in the sentence. Remember, I got a 10th grade education, okay? I think son's a pronoun, but why would it be capitalized in the middle of a sentence? See, that's what caught my attention the very first time I read the Bible. But at that time, I didn't know what that meant. But after years of schooling with the Father, see... Now, when you think of son, like your physical son that goes to school every day, S-O-N, this sun in the sky, when pronounced, they sound just alike. But this sun here is capitalized. Remember how I was saying in the last video how we teach you how to hear the engrafted word? This is one of the things I do believe we talk about right there in that chapter. I don't remember for sure if it's in that book, but I know we talk about it in the other books, okay? But I think we did do that on the engrafted word. We show you that, how that S is capitalized. Well, that Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. We are the animals that they sacrifice. That's what you get to understand in the other books too. We start explaining that in the second book. Okay, my brother, one of my brothers, was the ram with his horns caught in the bushes. You know, when I almost sacrificed my son, just the same as Abraham. Same thing. You know, I explain that all in the books. But the Son of Righteousness, gotta fear God's name. You got to fear him. Okay? Then Jesus rises up inside of you. Okay? Then when that happens, that's when you realize you don't need all this garbage. You don't need all these cars, these fancy cars, whatever. You just need the basic necessities to get by with. You stop buying all this junk we don't need. We don't start buying things and then look at everybody, look at me, look what I've got. because it's all junk. It's useless. Ain't one thing going with us. The flesh and anything I put on my flesh is staying here when I go. Anything I might have in a bank or whatever, it stays here when I go. Not a thing goes with me. What do I care? That's what Ecclesiastes is all about. Vanity. All I want is my soul to be with the Father for eternity. Okay? But the Son of Righteousness is when Jesus comes up, Father rises him up inside of you and says, hey, I don't need all this stuff. So in your mind, on your heart, those tables are flipped over and you say, no, I'm not buying this. I will take what I have and I will use it to help out other fellow servants, fellow vessels of God. You're not going to look at color, race, nationalism. You're not going to look at what someone's done. You're going to see a fellow child of God. They breathe the same air as you do. They walk on the same earth as you do. And they bleed the same color blood as you do. I'll guarantee it. No doubts. They are your brother or sister. They are your brethren. We all have but one Father. I think that's in Malachi 2, if I remember. And it talks about it a few times in the New Testament, too. Now I got myself curious. I think that's in Malachi 2. I shouldn't be looking at this. Oh, right there, Malachi 2. Have we not all one Father? Have not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother by profaning the covenant of our fathers? All of us. We are all brothers and sisters. We all need each other. I think I talked about that in the last video. Every one of us. I don't care who you are. I don't care what language you speak. Well, if you don't speak English, you're not really understanding what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. I just, I don't know, a little joke in there or whatever. All right, so now, let's see, I want to show, I want to go over Luke 21, 20 through 26, because that's what the 7th book's all about. When ye shall see Jerusalem compassed by armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Now, like I said, I don't know if this constitutes. We're going to be talking. I got some things showing, what countries are fighting against Israel, whatever, right now. Okay. I do need to pause this though, because there is. All right. Yeah. All right. Okay. I know what it was that I wanted to. Yeah, I'm going to do this right now, and I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit. Then, verse 21, and then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things written may be fulfilled. That's what I talked about in the last video. The scriptures are the heavens. So a lot of things of the Old Testament, a lot of the things of the New Testament getting ready to come to play in our lifetimes in this generation. And a lot of the things that you read about Jesus that you thought he did in the past, you're actually getting ready to see happen with me in this generation. Okay, but woe unto them that are with child, and then and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon the people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun, and the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, and a perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring. Now I'm going to stop right there. The sea and the waves roaring. A lot of people are actually going to think that, and I'm not going to show any of the biblical stuff on biblical witnesses of what I'm talking about right now. This is in the books, okay? But the sea and the waves, people are the waters, okay? This talks about it in the book of Revelation, that the people are the waters and the seas, okay? You ever been in a crowd and ever heard anyone ever say with a big crowd, see a sea of people out there or something like that, or at a big football stadium or some sports stadium, you know, they do the wave, you know, like the waves in the ocean, they do the wave. People are the seas, the waves, there you go. It's going to be waves of people. That's what's going to be roaring. It's not going to be the physical waves roaring of the ocean. Because now think about this one. If someone lives in the state of Missouri, I'm just saying that state randomly, okay? But someone lives in the state of Missouri, what's it going to matter to them if the ocean, the Atlantic or the Pacific or the Gulf of Mexico or the waves are waving? Yeah, you know, even if it's 5-mile tidal wave, I still don't think it would ever reach Missouri. But that's what that's talking about. The sea and the waves roaring. That's going to be the sea of people. Now remember, now in the 4th book, I talk about how I seen the spiritual flood that covers the earth. Everything about the Father, everything about the Bible is spiritual. Okay? Now, verse 26 is what I wanted to talk about tonight. Okay? Now we talked about, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken, the name of the 7th book. Okay, we talked about that in the last video. This part here on men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. Now, what's coming on the earth is people are getting ready to realize that the scriptures are the heavens, and the things that are written in the scriptures is getting ready to happen to this generation. Okay? But it says men's hearts failing them. Now, up until I was writing the 7th book, I always thought this meant their hearts failing them, they're going to die. But, and I didn't really understand how to explain it, but as I was talking to the Father here recently as of today, you know, and I'm listening to the Bible, and I started listening to it, you know, again, and I got all the way through the book of Genesis, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Because, and I don't know how many times it was when I was listening to the Bible, it's like, wait a second, I remember it, because I talk about this in the 7th book. And you know, when it says men's hearts failing them for fear, that doesn't mean they're just going to drop dead. And here's what I mean by that. Let's see, I got it done. Can I bring it over here? Yeah, right here. Genesis 42. Going down here to verse 28. This is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. I get excited every time I'm listening to this, and I'm like, Joseph, you're so mean, you know, in a jokingly way, because, you know, Joseph's brothers sold him, you know, put him in a pit, and they sold him to the people, and I'm tired. Okay, they sold him, and then he wound up interpreting Pharaoh's dreams, and, you know, wound up becoming a great king lord of the lands and so forth, because of the drought that was coming on and so forth. And then when you know, they come looking for food, come to buy food, you know, he puts their money back in their sacks. And that's where I just kind of they come to him, you know, from their land, to buy food because of the drought that he saw was coming. They were, they were in this drought. So Israel had sent his sons down to Egypt to get that. Egypt, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm tired. But anyway, so sent them into the land to get the food, to buy some food because they were running out. Well, when they got there, he gave them the food that they bought. Then he put all their money back in their bags. Well, now there I kind of caught you up to where we're at. Now, in this story, this was after. Okay, right here. Then Joseph, we'll start with verse 25. And Joseph commanded them to fill their sacks of corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for their way. And thus did he unto them. And they laden their asses with the corn, and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the inn, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. And he said unto his brethren, my money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that God hath done unto us? You see, their hearts failed them. But let's go back to Luke 21. Where'd I put it? What did I do with it? Whoops. Oh, right here it is. Okay. Men's hearts failing them. Go back to Genesis. Their heart failed them. But they didn't die. You see, this is where it's going to get to that point where many people are going to start wondering if their names are written in the book of life. Because there are so many people out here that have thought, and I'm not going to show all the scriptures. This is in the 7th book, okay? I'm not going to show all the scriptures tonight because I'm getting tired and I'm wanting to wind this down because I'm wanting to get some sleep, all right? Because I got a full 11 hours to drive tomorrow too. But now imagine this. These boys went in, well, they're young men. They went into Egypt. They gave Joseph and all the money for the food that they bought. They got their food. They left. They're thinking they did right. They went and paid for it. They didn't try to cheat them out of anything. They went and paid for everything. They had what they paid for. They were on their way home. They find the money back in their sacks. And it's like, whoa. Well, we didn't do anything wrong, but all of our their hearts failed them. Oh my gosh. I thought I was doing right. I thought I did right, but I did wrong. It looks like I've done wrong. And that's what the Father showed me today. He told me today. He says, that's what that's about. Right there. There are going to be so many people that have thought that they've been doing right. And you're going to find out you need to be retaught. And I talk about this in the 7th book. There's going to be so many people that are going to think that are going to wonder if their names are written in the book. Because God's going to start pouring out His Spirit on everyone. He's going to bombard everyone with what He's been teaching me on a subtle way over the last several years. And it's taken me several years to get where I'm at now. And He's just going to start pouring this all out. And all this stuff's just going to start coming in your all's consciences. And you're all going to like, holy cow. It's going to start beating down on you, and you ain't going to know what's hitting you. And it's going to scare the daylights out of you. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to kill you, but your hearts are going to, there's going to be a lot of people's hearts that's going to be failing them. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, I thought I was doing everything wrong. Turns out I was doing everything wrong. Or I thought I was doing everything right. Turns out I was doing everything wrong. Okay? Celebrating birthdays and all these man-made holidays, you're doing something God never commanded. You're going to find out That only provokes him to anger. That doesn't say, oh, you're so great, you listen to what I say. You know, you're not listening to a word that he's saying. Remember how many times we are told to live by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God? Now you're starting to understand that God the Father is actually the one that wrote the King James Version of the Bible. Through the Holy Ghost, he's the one that told the holy men he's the one that told the holy men what to write. So it's actually him that wrote the King James Version of the Bible. The only way you can live by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God is you got to start in Genesis 1, and you've got to listen to everything that he says all the way through Revelation 22. And if you don't understand it, you do as I do. You go back to Genesis 1, and you start all over again. I started listening to it again for the 7th time since January 13th this year. And I'm almost through the book of Exodus again already. And I don't ever get tired of it. So anyway, now let's take a few minutes and let's listen. Let's take, where did I have it? There we go. So anyway, I don't know if you want to call it on the 18th or 19th of our date, or, you know, because Israel's 8 hours ahead. Depends on where you are in the United States or where you at, wherever you might be in the world. You know, I don't know if it'd be the 19th. I think it'd probably be the 19th in Israel when Israel attacked Iran. Okay, well, Iran said they're going to retaliate. Let's just look at this. And this probably a couple hours ago old now, but these are all 42. Israel has attacked Iran. You know, Iran fires air defense batteries at Isfahan Air Base, nuclear site. These are all 1 hour ago. So Israel's attacking Iran. I don't know if Iran's going to retaliate. But this is why I wanted to show you this video tonight. That's why I put Israel attacking. The name of it's going to be Israel attacks Iran. Calm down. Reading these books, getting an understanding of our Father. And that's why I showed you how you don't have to pay a dime for these books. You know, I give them to you all for free. Yeah, if you want to buy them, you want to have the books in your house, whatever. If you don't like reading the e-books, so be it. Buy the dang things. I don't care. Okay? But if you don't want to pay for them, you don't have to. That's why I showed you that. You can download the manuscript free. Doesn't cost you a dime. You have the e-book at your hand at all times. This is to all 7 books. All 7 of them. I don't care about the money. I'd rather you start to understand who our Father is, what he's doing, why he's doing what he's doing. Okay? But this is the Father that's actually doing this. It's the Father. It's not Bibi Netanyahu. It's not Vladimir Putin in Russia. It's not Xi in China. It's the Father that's doing this. He's dwelling inside of everyone. You know, everybody always says there's no one crazy enough to push the button on the nuclear button. Well, if and I'm not ever going to say whether in the 7th book, I say I think there is going to be a nuclear button because I talk about the scriptures that talks about your eyeballs melting out of your eye sockets. I think that's a nuclear bomb. I don't know for sure. But if there's anyone that has the courage, the know-how, the willpower to push that button, it's the Father. It's the Father. And if that's how he's going to do it, if that's how he's going to end this world, that's how he's going to end this world. I personally, not confirmed by the Father, but I firmly believe that Mars was the last Earth. And I do believe this Earth, it will be the next Mars. Because I believe a nuclear war, all-out nuclear war, is exactly what would make Mars look like Mars. right now. I don't know that for sure. Father has not confirmed me. That's my personal belief. You know, and it's just something thoughts that I've accumulated over the years, that I truly think Mars was the last Earth. Then all those that didn't make it into the heavenly realm with the Father, in that cycle of 1,000 generations, I can only assume that's what it was back then. Okay, but I know for us it was 1,000 generations. A generation is 70 to 80 years, as in Psalm 90. Okay, so 1,000 lives. So I think after this, which we don't know the Father's timelines. I mean, he's made sure that we'll never figure out his timeline. Okay, but I think this is going to be the next Mars. You know, which makes no difference to me, because I plan on being with the Father. Back up in the stars. See, that's what I explain in the book, the 7th book too. We came from the stars. Okay, that's the mansions in my Father's house right there. Remember how the serpent brought 1/3 of the stars with him? Well, here we are. The serpent got locked up inside of us. 7th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th book. They all start explaining this. The 7th book pretty well lays it flat out and down to detail. I mean, like I said, the 7th book is the granddaddy of them all. Anyway, let's get back on topic. Now, I had this one in here last night, the Samson true weakness. I guess because they keep talking about Israel using the Samson option, and they're referring back to Samson, and I believe her name was Delilah. I don't know if they're wanting to say the Samson option. This is where Israel is threatening to use nuclear missiles or whatnot, calling this the Samson option, which to me I find ridiculous, because Samson was powerful when he had his hair, but when he got his hair cut off, he lost his power. But when his hair started growing back, he started to regain his power. Okay, so to use the Samson option, Samson was when I listened to the story of Samson did not. Okay, he lost his power when they cut his hair off, but he regained his power. But then in the end, he died when the building fell down on all of them, and he took more people out than he killed in all the wars of his life. Okay, but in the end, he died. So to me, when they I hear them talk about Israel maybe using the Samson option. To me, that might be what it is, though, that gets the world to turn their backs on Israel. You see, and I don't think I explained that thoroughly last night in the video, but something's going to happen with Israel, because I don't think we're going to go over that here in a minute, about the countries that are up against Israel right now. I don't think the 4 countries or 4 military groups, if you will, I don't think that constitutes as Jerusalem being surrounded. Yeah, no, Israel's not that big. So if Israel is surrounded, obviously Jerusalem is surrounded. Anyway, I had that in there last night. I was going to talk about the Samson I was going to talk about the Samson option last night. Because Israel's threatening that. To me, my opinion, that's not coming from the Father. I think to use to even put that in the same realm as the scriptures is, to me, ridiculous, because, okay, Samson option. Well, Samson was strong, mean, killed a lot of people, lost his hair, lost his power, got his eyes plucked out, started regrowing his hair, and then wound up killing a bunch of people. I don't really find that to be that great of a thing. Yeah, God gave him the strength to do what he did, but I don't know. To me, it's funny to use the Samson option. I just wanted to comment on it. What the heck? Why not? All right, now, this is what I wanted to look at. A few of the countries that are fighting Well, is this what I had? Who's all fighting Israel? 418. Okay, we got. We know they're fighting Hamas in Gaza. All right, there's one front they're fighting. They're fighting Hezbollah in Lebanon. That's another front they're fighting. Now the Houthis, and I got that on the other one. The Houthis, officials have said they are attacking shipping in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden to protest Israel's military campaign in the Gaza Strip. So I don't know if they're really fighting per se against Israel, but the Houthis just attacking the people in the Red Sea, the ships in the Red Sea, trying to overtake them. So I don't know if that really counts them going against Israel, being surrounded against Israel, and so forth. So, and you got the Hamas in Gaza. We got Hezbollah in Lebanon. Now, obviously, there's Iran. They say they're going to retaliate. I don't know if they have yet or not. I guess I ought to turn my heater on. So I don't know, I don't think that's enough to oh, that's a stopwatch. I don't think that's enough. I don't know. I'm not the Father. Yeah, he dwells inside of me, but I'm not him. I don't know the day or hour. I just know what things to look for. All right, to know that the day is getting close, because you can tell with everything that's going on with Israel right now, things are starting to compound around on them. Okay, now I don't know if they're going to use this Samson. That's where I wanted to go into that Samson option. I don't know if that's what they're going to do. That's going to get the world to turn their backs on them, and they're going to have several countries to surround them and say, okay, you're done. You can't continue doing what you're doing. I don't know. See, that's what I mean. I don't think there's enough militaries going against Israel right now. I don't know if we can count that as when we see as Jerusalem being surrounded yet. Okay? But now let's go back to that Luke 21. All right? When ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Now, I still don't think this is quite there. But as we can see, things are getting closer. Okay, there's something's gonna happen. Israel's gonna do something that's gonna get a majority, I'm not gonna say all, but a majority of the countries to say, that's it, no more. When that happens, that's when the desolation thereof is nigh. That's when these will be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But remember this, back up 20, desolation thereof is nigh. Nigh is not immediate. We are on God's time schedule, not man's. Okay? Now, let's just do this real quick. I want to go to Matthew 24. Okay. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down. As he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciple came to him privately, saying, Tell us, what shall be the sign? What shall the signs be? And what shall be thy sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? I have heard so many people say, no, this is not the end of the world. It's just a new beginning of the way things are. No, end of the world. That means exactly what it says. Don't take God's name in vain. Don't think he's lied to you. Don't think this Bible is useless. And don't think what he said is malarkey. If he said it, it's going to happen. And Jesus said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for there shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Now, As pointed out, I do believe in the 6th and 7th book, maybe in the 5th book, there has been 45 documented cases of people claiming to be Christ. Documented. Before me. Now, I know there's more people that have done that, because I tell you in the 7th book about one kid with clean shaving, cut hair, and wanted to use all kinds of different versions of the Bible to try to understand God's Word. He told me he was Jesus. Really? And as I explained it in the 7th book, he wanted to claim to be Jesus so that he could be glorified by man. He wanted to please men. I haven't touched my beard or my hair in I don't know how many years, and I won't. Why? Because it tells me in the Old Testament, the Father tells me, do not round the corners of your hair, do not round, I'm paraphrasing, don't trim the corners of your beard, do not round the corners of your head. So no scissors, nothing. And I don't care what you all think. Yeah, I went through my phase of I didn't make videos because y'all didn't watch them. But I still never lost my faith. And that actually is talked about in the 7th book. And that's how the Father actually said, when he broke all that down, he says, after he puts me through all those questions, he says, where are you at, David? He says, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm back in the Garden of Eden. I'm in the Garden of Eden. Why? Because I obey him and not man. I try to please him. I think I screw up a lot, but I continue to try to please him. And I do not try to please man. I seek his love. His love. And I try to do unto others as I would have others do unto me. Because I let him teach me. I don't know why I'm pointing up. I should be like him inside of me. Oh, what was I talking about? I get myself so sidetracked. Oh yeah. Okay. We talked about the false Christ and all that. All right. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled. Be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Remember that. The end is not yet. So we got some time to go through all this hard times. I don't remember where it says. Might be later on. Right there. Verse 8. For the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Now, when it says pestilences there, I need to tell y'all, that can be people. I'm not going to show you that in the scriptures tonight, but people can be pestilences. Constantly. Okay, I'll give you an example. Have you ever had a little child come up to you, and why? And every answer you give him or her, why? That's a pestilence right there. That's not a bad pestilence, but people, when God says there's going to be pestilences, when he says pestilences, that's annoying people. They're constantly getting on your nerves. And I'm not talking like a little child doing that for 5, 10, 15 minutes. I'm talking about an adult that is just going to annoy the heck out of you for hours and days, maybe weeks, maybe months. That is actually, I think I know a couple people that I've talked to recently that are going through that, have been going through that for quite some time. But because there is no fear of God, I can't get them to understand that. They have no fear of God in them. And if you don't have that fear of God, you're never going to understand what this is all about. And when your heart does fail you with no fear of God, that most likely will be the death, physical death. I'm getting way off topic. Verse 8, and all these are the beginning of sorrows. Beginning. We still got a ways to go, but it's gonna get really hard, and that's why it's so. I stress on read the books. You can buy them, or you can download them for free. you have a free ebook at your hand at all times. I showed y'all how simple it is. Just click on that download manuscript. There you go. Voila. Pretty much instantly. Must be because I'm on this mobile data and it downloaded it for the second time because I downloaded it once earlier just to see how it worked. I wanted to test it to see how it was going to work for you all to show it in this video. Well, a video. I didn't know I was going to do it in this one. But when I seen Israel attacking Iran, I was like, okay, you better get with it. So anyway, all right, guys. And I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video because a lot of you probably ain't going to make it to the end of the video. I hope you do. But what is that? SLS? Subscribe, like, and share. Try to get these videos out because it's getting to that point. People are going to start really needing to know this. Share it. Let's get this. The more people that gets to understanding and start to learning of the Father, I'm telling you, once you all start doing this, you're going to be amazed what the Father's going to do with you. I'm not going to do it. The Father's going to do it with you. He's inside of you, but you got to show him you want to learn what he's been trying to say since day one. So I have no fear whatsoever what's coming. I understand what's happening. I understand why it's happening. And I'm at ease. I'm at peace with it because I've gave my life to the Father. I've devoted every minute of my life to the Father for the last several years. And that's not a joke. I've explained this to you all. So just share this. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Like it, because I guess I listen to the other people talk about it. It helps with the algorithm or whatever. It helps get the video out more often. I do not monetize any of my videos. I don't want money for my what I teach you all. I don't want a dime for it. So I hear everybody else, you'll get demonetized or whatnot. You know what? You shouldn't be seeing any commercials in mine, any video that I play, because I don't get paid to do it. And I refuse to get paid to do it. Hence, that's why I give you the manuscripts for free. I don't want money for this. God didn't charge me a dime. Yeah, I gave up my life, but that didn't cost me anything. I didn't have to stop paying my bills or whatever so I could read a book or to learn what the Father was teaching me. He's been teaching me all this time, and I haven't missed any work other than those. Well, I didn't miss that much time in those 4 months I was off work because when I had that incident back in May of 22, that's explained in the books also. You know, I was working when I was out of the truck for 4 months. Well, I had to get recertified. So I don't charge you all anything. He didn't charge me. I'm not charging you. But yet, some people might want the books. So anyway, I'm going to call this a night. Like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, whatever order that should go, SLS or however, whatever you want to call it. We need to start I'd like to be able to start get it out there. Start telling people about the channel. Start telling people about the books. Share it. Because there's coming a time that you're all going to want to know this, whether you like I don't want to say it like that. It's coming. And it's getting very close. Will you be one of the dead in Christ that will rise? That's talked about in the 5th book. I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to call this quits. Anyway, subscribe, like, and share. Nice. I'm out.